Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke orders probe into alleged attacks in Egedi town. Nigerian Army renames Ikeja cantonment after late Chief of Army Staff, Farid Lagbaja. And all the foreign scene, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky expected to hold talks. Good evening, this is News at 7 and West Spring Television. My name is Tomilola Daniel. A former Senate President Bukola Saraki has expressed concern over the ongoing dispute between the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the lawmaker representing Kogi Central Senatorial District Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. In a statement issued via his official X page on Saturday, Saraki urged those directly and indirectly involved in the ongoing face-off to prioritize the protection of the Senate as an institution and not individuals. He also called for an open, transparent, and honest investigation by the Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Public Petitions to determine the veracity of the allegations raised by Akpoti-Uduaghan against Akpabio. The Saraki emphasized that only an open and honest investigation will prevent the parliament from being perceived as an institution that condones sexual harassment, gender bias, abuse of office, disregard for standing orders and rules, and general disorderliness. He recalled a claim made while he was the Senate President during the 8th Assembly that he had imported an official car without paying custom duty. Saraki said he cooperated fully with the Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Public Petitions, appearing before the media during the investigation to clear his name. Meanwhile, Senator representing Kogi Central Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has asked Ekaite Akpabio, wife of Senate President Godswill Akpabio, to refrain from getting involved in the allegations of sexual advances against her husband. In an interview on Friday, Akpoti-Uduaghan alleged that the Senate President made sexual advances towards her in his office and residence in Akwa Ibom. The Senate President's wife had responded by saying her husband is a disciplined man, adding that the senator's claims were lies. Ekaite has also filed fundamental right and defamation suit against Akpoti-Uduaghan. However, in a letter dated March 1st and addressed to Akpabio's wife, the Kogi Senator, Tulu Victor Giwa, a lawyer, said she is not desirous of involving Ekaite in the unfortunate saga. The Kogi Senator advised Ekaite to consider her sanity and allow Akpabio to defend himself against the allegations. The Deputy Senate President, Barau Jibrin, on Saturday pledged to work with Senator Muntari Dantuse, the Senate representing Funtua Senatorial District in Katsina State, to ensure the creation of new state called Karaduwa. It described the creation of new state as apt, saying it will bring meaningful development for the good people of the state, besides the economic prosperity attraction. Jibrin spoke at the Funtua Township during the official flag-off of the distribution of Ramadan food items and empowerment of thousands of women and youth, performed by Senator Muntari Danduse, the Chairman, Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TET Fund, and Senator representing Katsina South Senatorial District, Katsina State. In his remarks, the Katsina State Governor, Diko Rada, appealed to the beneficiaries not to sell the items given to them, urging them to continue supporting the government with prayers, especially in this period of Ramadan. Elsewhere, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has blacklisted an Indian firm, Avio Pharmaceuticals PVT Limited, over alleged production and importation of dangerous opioid combinations into West Africa, including Nigeria. In a statement signed by its Director General, Mojisola Adeyeye, the NAFDAC accused the Indian company of producing and distributing Tafrodol and Royal 225 drugs containing a harmful mix of tepantadol, an opioid, and carisoprodol, a banned muscle relaxant. The NAFDAC stated that the substances pose severe health risks, including respiratory failure, seizures, overdose, and death. The agency noted that an investigation conducted by the British Broadcasting Corporation exposed how packets of these drugs, branded with the Avio Pharmaceuticals logo, have been found in the streets of Nigeria, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire. A fire has gutted sections of a story building housing Ego Medical Center of Ego Palace, Way Okota. The inferno was caused by a power surge which led to a spark when public electricity power supply was restored. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, confirmed the incident in a statement on Saturday. LASEMA Permanent Secretary Olufemi Osonyitolu said the agency had successfully contained the raging fire. According to him, the agency activated the state's emergency response plan and its response team from Oshodi following distress calls received on Friday. He stated that no life was lost nor injuries recorded due to the incident, adding that the fire was being contained through collaborative effort of the LASEMA response team fire unit and other responders to prevent it from spreading to adjoining buildings in the area. The Nasarawa state government has commenced the distribution of monetary support to traders who were affected by the recent fire outbreaks in the Lafia, Akwanga, and Masaka markets in the state. The president, Nasarawa State Traders and Marketers Association, Musa Turaki Gamje, made the disclosure while speaking with journalists in Lafia, the state capital, on Saturday. While explaining that the exercise kicked off on Friday across the affected markets in the state, Turaki Gamje expressed deep appreciation to Governor Abdullahi Sule for coming to the aid of traders whose goods worth millions of naira were burned to ashes during the fire outbreak. He noted that Governor Sule, during a visit to the market to see the level of damage done by the inferno, had promised to extend humanitarian assistance to the affected victims. Turaki Gamji further expressed gratitude to the numerous politicians and good-spirited individuals who rendered the assistance to the association and prayed for God's blessings upon their lives. A former presidential candidate, Peter Obi, has urged the federal government to prioritize improving existing road infrastructure in the country over building new ones. Obi disclosed this in a post on X.com on Saturday, citing the tanker explosion that occurred on the Ilorin-Jeba Expressway in Kwara State on Friday. A preliminary investigation revealed that the tanker, which was conveying 33,000 liters of petrol, collided with a truck that was loaded with fertilizer, causing a fuse spill that ignited the fire. In his post, the former Anambra State governor stated that a greater percentage of road accidents are caused by the deplorable condition of the road infrastructure. Obi extended his condolences to the victims' families, urging the government and citizens to unite in building safer roads. The Rivers State government has announced the commissioning of a 10-day project. This announcement comes a day after the Supreme Court barred the Central Bank of Nigeria from releasing federal allocations to the Rivers State government. The Apex Court also nullified the recently held local government elections in the oil-rich state. While political tension grips the state following the court's verdict, the Signal Fubara administration said it remains resolute in the development agenda. The 10-day exercise that will see the unveiling of critical infrastructure projects across Rivers State and beyond is slated to begin on a Monday. In a statement on Saturday, the Commissioner for Information, Joe Johnson, said the inaugurations are in line with the Fubara-led administration's avowed commitment to sustainable development. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke on Saturday ordered a probe into the alleged attacks in Egedi town in Egbedore local government area, where 7 people were reportedly injured. The Egedi of Egedi, Oba Muideen Aziz, had on Friday said 7 people from his town were injured in 2 separate attacks, allegedly by some people from Egedi. He said 2 of those injured were inflicted with machete cuts on Wednesday. while 5 others were shot on Thursday by some people bearing arms. The spokesperson for the governor, Olawale Rashid, in a statement issued in reaction to the incident, also assured the people of Egedi of adequate protection. It will be recalled that in a video that went viral on social media, shared by one Lamina Kamiludin Omotoyosi, a Facebook user in Osun, purportedly recorded at the scene of Thursday's incident, some arm-bearing men were seen walking towards a vehicle parked in the middle of the road, while some people that could not be seen were raining curses on them. After entering their vehicle and leaving the scene, repeated gunshots were heard, as people within the vicinity kept mentioning the name of one Kazim Oriade, said to be an aide to the Osun State governor. Meanwhile, Oriade accused Egedi resident of attacking him while he was traveling through the town to Egedi alongside some of his aides on Thursday. In other news, the Nigerian Army has renamed the Ikeja cantonment after the late Chief of Army Staff, Taoreed Lagbaja. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, said the decision was in recognition of Lagbaja's courage and service to Nigeria. Sanwo-Olu noted that by naming the Ikeja cantonment after Lieutenant General Lagbaja, tribute is being paid to a leader whose life exemplified courage, discipline, and patriotism. Also speaking, the Chief of Army Staff, Olufemi Oluyede, paid tribute to his predecessor, lauding his infrastructural development while he served as commander of 9 Brigade. Oluyede said the cantonment was deemed most befitting to immortalize Lagbaja. Lagbaja served as Chief of Army Staff from the 19th of June 2023 until his death on the 5th of November 2024 at age 56 following an illness.
9 brigades was one rallying point for us all, and it has continued to be so. So I'm happy that it has been named after one of our own, and we really appreciate that. And again, a reminder to all of us living that what you do follows you after you. And this is a typical example that when you do well and you make that difference, people will always appreciate you. Our Labaski, as I call him, remains one great hero in our minds and will ever remain that in this country.
This cantonment has long been a symbol of courage. It's been a symbol of discipline and patriotism. It has been home to thousands of brave men and women who have defended our sovereignty with their lives. It has witnessed moments of triumph, resilience, and sacrifice. And therefore, the renaming it after Lieutenant General Lagbaja is a fitting tribute to a leader, a gentleman, and an officer whose life embodied all of these values.
You're watching News at 7 and West Spring Television. Still to come, President Bola Tinubu pays tribute to late founding president of the Republic of Namibia, Sam Kafishuna Joma.